Oh, good evening. Good evening. Good evening. It's telling me we're live. Just wait for, oh, not a lot. We have audio as well. 9 in as soon as I press the button. Bloody hell. What's going on tonight? We don't normally get into this. Was that your notification
No,
of?
my notification, yeah.
And I ain't had one yet. Look.
Oh, that's because you never log in to watch.
See. Good evening, Stitch, Little Stitch, and Resist. Moo, good
And
evening,
Little
mate.
Stitch. And no Stitch, yeah.
Jen, good evening, sweetheart. Now, I will say right from the outset tonight, it's not going to be the normal 2 hours. Good evening, Marines. The week didn't start very well, and it hasn't got any better. I've been struggling with my sleep and everything, as you know. But Monday is normally Heather's day off of work, which is why I arrange all my hospital appointments for treatment, whatever, for a Monday, because Heather's free to run me up there. And then taxi, Punkawalla. No, that's the old waving boy, isn't it? Oh, you throw me right out there.
Appointments on a Monday.
Yeah,
so
appointments on a Monday, so she can get me there, and she doesn't have to take time off of work. And they're usually in the morning, so she has to get up early on her day off. So Monday, we got up. She got up early as normal, take me to the hospital, drops me off, goes to find somewhere to park. I walk in to find out my appointment is next Monday.
So we got to do it all again.
I was dreading it because I'd probably need some treatment because I haven't been tested for a while. They're 3 monthly intervals now instead of monthly. In the afternoon, we had the council inspector coming round for this stock take thing. Well, it's not actually a stock take. I'll get into that later and tell you what it is for those that live in the Birmingham area. I know Kel does. Good evening, Kel. By the way, I expect she's in the background there. Steve, good evening, mate. But yeah, today it's all gone tits up, hasn't it, for Labour? They've got so much about them, against them, calls to pull them down, and now they got to deal with this Mandelson thing. I nearly said Miliband then. You know, they're claiming that Starmer's done this, done that, the other. He wasn't vetted properly. And he actually, before all this new lot blew up today, he actually resigned as an MP. Yeah, it's exciting, Jen. It just gives me a laugh. Good evening, Karen. So he's resigned from his parliamentary post. And apparently, although it hasn't been formally said, he's also said he intends to resign from the House of Lords. Well, at the moment, apparently, Comrade Starmer met with Charlie Boy today in view of removing his peerage. But as he stepped down as an MP, he will probably go into retirement, given his age, especially with everything else that's going on, if he don't end up in prison. But he will still get his parliamentary pension. Now, the only one that can stop that, guess who? Yeah, Starmer. Now, I did look into if he actually gets to resign his peership rather than kicked out, does he get any monetary payments from there? Remunerations. Sorry. I use, street speak, not pronouncing words. Now that apparently, if they're in a paid position in any form of government, there are some little bits and pieces that he can get, monetary wise. But I don't think he can get them if they remove it, if they can do it before he resigns. And I still think he was given time to resign as an MP, obviously. The way they always do it, full salary pension and all that bollocks. Personally, I think it's obvious he's guilty of more than what they're saying. So I think he should lose everything. But yeah, they're going on about the vetting system. Did he get vetted properly for the position? I'll get into that in a minute, Jen. He was connected, but not through the Russians. I don't think it was. But they're looking into the vetting system and what questions he was asked. Well, Starmer admitted he knew about these problems with Epstein before he chose him. So, yeah, the vetting system obviously failed, didn't it? Or, more likely, being ignored. But then we've got this other thing that's come up about the money fraud. Basically a type of, it's not the same as insider trading, but you could call it that, giving Epstein the heads up about certain deals that were going to be going down. This was all privileged parliamentary information, apparently. What else was it? Oh, and yeah, going back to what Jen said there, apparently he had connections to some gangster. I don't think it was Russian, though. I think he was Romanian or something like that. Very well-known gangster, known to the police and everything. He's into drugs, child trafficking, protection, all that sort of shit. And why he was in as the business secretary, he actually gave contracts to this guy's other businesses, as it were, some of his businesses. Yeah, they have said something about connections to Putin, but I'll be honest, I haven't looked into that part of it, Jen. But because a lot of this is financial dealings that they want looking into, obviously it's been reported to the Met, and the Met police have got involved in it all. Well, why they're trusting the Met to do it, I don't know, because their vetting system is just about as fucking bad as the government's, isn't it? From the stories I've been hearing. But they've all now, all those that praised him getting the job in America, most of them probably knew about the Epstein connections. They've all turned on him. They all backed him in the job, and now they've all turned on him like a pack of vultures, simply to save their own asses. Oh, we had nothing to do with it, yeah. We didn't know about any of it, and these emails and messages. And I won't go into it all because, quite frankly, I haven't looked into it all. I tried to pick up a bit in pieces off the PMQs today, being as that was all it was about. But as Heather would testify, when she come down for a cigarette, I was laid there asleep. It was that fucking boring. Same old shit. But I personally think this could be the last nail in Starmer's coffin. I really do. I think we'll hear an announcement before the end of the week that he's stepping down. He's broken so many rules. I mean, to be honest, the police should be investigating him for some of the shit he's pulled. You know? Absolutely ridiculous. And, you know, they've tried to cover it up and failed miserably. You know, even the national security bods told them it was a bad idea to send him to America. You know, was it having a go at Trump? We know they don't really like each other now. Was it to deliberately upset Trump and deliberately upset the Americans? Oh, he'll try, Jen. But if you notice now, as soon as this has all come out in public, straight away, Rayna's in there again now. You know, she can smell blood. She can smell the shit coming out of Starmer's ass where he's that frightened now. Oh, in question times today, I didn't see it at the time, but he was physically shaking. His hands were shaking. He was that fucking wound up. But yeah, the biggest worry is that they'll install somebody else, and believe it or not, some of those in the wings, some of the batshit ideas they've been coming up with are way worse than Starmer. Way worse. Yeah, he couldn't pronounce his words. At one point, I did see he was trying to read off his script, but he was getting that flustered that he lost where he was. But yeah, it's visible now. He's broken. He can't come back from this. You know? I mean, his trip out, little jolly out to the Asia. You know, he was out there making a complete dick of himself, and now he's back here making a complete dick of himself. You know, trying to get the Chinese to stop selling outboard motors to the gangs, the smuggling gangs. Well, yeah, good luck with that, because they sell thousands and thousands on the open market, eBay, Amazon. You can even buy them direct from the manufacturers, apparently. Personally, I wouldn't trust one to last as long as crossing the channel. But yeah, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. You know, how are they going to police it for a fucking start? Anybody could be ordering them. Blood, that camera keeps going weird on the light. I don't know why. That kind of went then. Oh well. But yeah, he went over there and he kept bleating about he wants to do trade with them. He wants better trade with them. Cool. Yeah, absolutely. And that could be on the market yet, Jen. We don't know. There's a lot of things being said. But I'll keep an eye on it. But yeah, he wants to turn us into a Timu nation, as I put. Yeah, great. Let's all buy products that last about 5 minutes and then need replacing. Yeah. But disposable items, you know, you look at the price and you think, well, yeah, this item comes in a one-use plastic packaging. They're usually cheaply made from non-biodegradable, recyclable materials. And it stops working after, say, a month. But hey, they're that cheap. You just go and buy another one, don't you? Throw the old one in the bin. Go and buy another one. Times that by 12. 12 items thrown away. Non-recyclable. Cheap, nasty, in some cases dangerous. So you think about it, you go out and buy a more expensive one, a half decent one. Generally lasts a lot longer. Go on for years sometimes. And most of the more expensive ones are made with recycling in mind, even the packaging. But then they bump the prices up on those, which puts the prices up even more because there's taxes to pay on them, there's tariffs to pay on them, there's duties to pay on them if they're imported. This is something the absolute clusterfuck could sort out in his office. He didn't need to go and fucking see the Chinese. And as I said last week, I think it was about the Pfizer investment. They pull their investment out of this country. That was announced a week or two before he went. And now he's crowing about how they're going to, Pfizer are going to invest, 11 billion over there. And said it would be creating hundreds and thousands of jobs for the British. How does that work if they're investing in China? He's got the big spy centre. Oh yeah, you can have that. I mean, he's a total embarrassment to this fucking country. He really is. And he said he wanted to talk about human rights while he was there. Yeah, great. Didn't they execute 11 internet scammers while he was there? What was it? That embarrassment all over. He drops in on Japan, a country that is actively shutting down mosques, stopping Islam, taking over the streets, celebrating in the streets, praying in the streets. Anybody that speaks out, like they do here, kill the infidel shit, boom, they're gone. They're deported before, and their feet don't even touch the ground. One had been there 30 years. And as soon as he stood up and spoke out, he's fucking gone. He's out of the country. And what was he in Japan for? Again, he said trade. But he also said he was there to advise them on how to deal with immigration. You couldn't make this shit up. You really couldn't. I mean, he's out of his depth. He hasn't got a clue. I think he's lost it. He's lost the plot. With what he's coming out with and doing, he has totally lost it. Oh, dear. I mean, people can see. They know the mess he's made of it all here. They know what he's doing. I never thought any human being could get any dumber than the people that were there, but he's absolutely proved me fucking wrong. And then he, announces fight back against women abusers and kiddie abusers. Good evening, Paulette. Welcome, my dear. It gave, 19 million to Pakistan to help fight child abuse. He's up there crowing about, you must get justice for the Epstein victims. Not a fucking word about the grooming gangs here. one of the biggest misjustice that's ever happened against girls and kids. You know, and the cover-ups following it. You know, his little mate Khan, as he calls him, still denying that it's happened in London. Yeah. I'm absolutely amazed, to be honest, that he's lasted this long. He should have been gone a long time ago. But at least we got a little bit of stuff coming out on that with Rupert Lowe's privately bought investigation, crowdfunded. But you got to realise that inquiry is not an official one. It's not a sanctioned one. Relatively speaking, they've only got a small budget, just over £600,000, and it's only due to last about a fortnight, I think, as I saw somewhere. So, because it's unsanctioned, they can't compel anybody to give evidence or testify or give a statement. They can't hold anybody responsible for it. All they can do is try and expose who was involved. Obviously, nobody from real officialdom is going to turn up. So it's going to be all the victims, families, friends and stuff like that. But they know the names of many of them. Now, the other thing to not lose sight of over this is, don't forget, a lot of it was going on during the Tories' watch as well. But nobody seems to be mentioning a lot about those, do they? Well, a lot of them probably aren't Tories anymore, the way they're switching and changing, but we have got the official one allegedly starting in March, early March. And this one, they will be able to force people, no matter what level, to testify or, you know, come in and be interviewed. Will they be dragging in the Tories? Well, they should do. Everybody should be included in this, no matter what party, what level, what police force, what council. They should all be at it. And they've given a budget of 65 million for that one. You know, Rupert Lowe couldn't get any funding for a penny out of Labour to do his. But I don't think it will be a fair investigation. I still think they'll try and block it somehow. Or, on the other hand, they might let it go ahead because the Hillsborough law isn't passed yet, which means they can't be directly held responsible. They have certain protections in place. But, yeah. I can't see him lasting any longer. I don't know what you guys think. I'll tell you what you will do. I have got some other things there to bring up, but being as we're not on for long tonight, as I'm very, very tired, as I say, I haven't been sleeping. Literally, my muscles and that have been playing up, and obviously, me tells me I want to sleep, but they won't let me sleep. With the Bioarmor Merchants, yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, he's absolutely overstayed his welcome. There's the link. I'm losing concentration left, right, and centre here. But yeah. And I still believe that the Epstein debacle it's all been put out now to overshadow what they're doing over everything else in America as well as here. That they're using it to try and confuse people, making them look at that because that's the headline. I mean, but obviously the biggest headline in the UK today is the stabbing in Leicester, wasn't it, of the 20-year-old lad. Police have said, yeah, one's died. They've got an 18-year-old in custody. And that's the only information that they've released. Good evening, ATL. Welcome, mate, from across the pond. What's the issue? Was it a foreigner? That wouldn't prejudice any investigation, giving those details out. Oh, it's gone absolutely mad, ATL. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. It's what else have I got there?
We used to live in a nice area.
Yeah.
About a mile up the road.
Yeah, we had a shooting, wasn't it? Literally. Well, I would say it's probably a mile as the crow flies, wouldn't you? Up there.
Yeah, mile and a half, but it's But then again, with the hotel down the road.
Yeah, we got the Migrant Hotel, the Ramada, not that far away. But yeah, it doesn't matter where you turn, ATL. I mean, just about every country there is now has got some sort of issues going on, or they're at war with somebody else. I mean, Starmer's destroying our country. The EU is actually destroying itself, with most of its members turning against it now. They've realised that the immigration was a big fucking mistake. The only ones that haven't is our lot. Starmer's still pressing on with it, claiming now that we've had the best January ever for no crossings. So literally he's claiming the work of Mother Nature. Yeah, and that's the way it's going, ATL. That's the way it's going. If you believe the propaganda coming from Russia and that, we're back in a Cold War situation, aren't we? But, again, that's what's been coming out of Russia, as far as I'm concerned, is the same as it used to be. He's got the muscle to back up the threats, but I just think it's propaganda trying to stir up our own, because all it's doing is it's working. It's getting people worrying about everything that's going on around them, and that's how the propaganda works. Sorry, I've got itchy feet and my legs have been playing up again. But again, how are they trying to fight it all in this country? Well, that silly bitch Mahood, as I call her, and she wants, along with the police, the rollout of digital facial recognition cameras all over the country. Literally everywhere. Every fucking street corner. Russia has always used the military. Yeah. And from certain countries there, Russia has been buying its arms and stuff like that as well, isn't it? It's And when you think the biggest producer of Russian weapons was the Ukraine itself, it just shows you what a farce it is. But yeah, they want to roll out this digital facial recognition shit everywhere. All the vans are appearing in cities and towns. Yeah, most of the people wear masks. And you walk past a van. Oh, if you've got the mask on, can you uncover your face? Personally, I'd tell them no. Absolutely not. Yeah. You ask, are you suspected of committing a crime or an offence? From the videos I've seen around these vans with people approaching, they say, "Oh no. We delete it afterwards." Well, if I'm not suspected of a crime, why would you want it in the first place? But there are fight backs about it. One, I think it's Big Brother Watch and a couple of others opening a case against the government for it. But what can you do to protect yourself from it if you don't want to be seen? Well, one, the law gives you the right in public to create your own privacy. The idea is alien. For the West from the beginning. Oh, they wanted everything anyway, AGL. They always have, mate. They've openly said it. But yeah, they if you've got a face covering on, they're like, can you pull it down for the camera? And they give a load of bullshit excuses. Why? If you refuse, even if
Hello, hi all.
To comply, they will hassle you. They will push you, saying, why are you hiding it? Trying to get you to say something. Well, personally, I would just turn around and say, we've got a right to create our own privacy in public, which includes from cameras. And the second one would be, I'd ask them if there's a section 60AA in place. Because that is, unless they suspect you of a crime, that is the only time they can walk up and ask anybody to remove a face cover. It has to be signed off by an inspector or above. And that's got to be in place before they can ask you. It's usually done for protests or where they think there's going to be violence or, crowds gathering and stuff like that. But the section must be put in place under the Justice Public Order Act before they can ask you. So basically, I'd tell them to get fucked. If you search me, you've got no reason to search me. It's an illegal search. You've no reason to suspect I've committed a crime. Boom. Fuck off. Simple as, isn't it?
Do you know, Roger?
Good evening, Steve, by the way.
Good evening to you too. In the Weatherspoons now, there's cameras in the toilets.
That I believe they can cover like a communal area in a toilet under the security. I'm not sure on this point, but not the cubicles.
Well, not inside the cubicles, no, but you can see the doors of the cubicles. The one,
you
that
can have one on the door to see who goes in and out.
Yeah,
that's about it, as far as I know. That was the law back when I was doing door work and security. Whether it's still the same, but sure, it'd be classed as voyeurism anyway, which is illegal. So
should be.
But it's like Aldi. It's just. There's a great way around it. Some of the people that have had their picture taken in the supermarkets, what they're doing is they're going to the manager and saying under GDPR, I'm making an
You have to give me a
information
copy or
request
something.
for any data that you hold on me, be it video, be it photograph, be it shopping transactions. You're entitled to any information like that they hold on you. And they think
Do you
twice
think
about it all
that
when they go in and they've got to deal with all these requests of information on that, what you've bought over the last year. And
it
yeah,
sounds like a
it's
good
just,
plan that if everyone got together and just all made these EMDR requests, whatever they're called, and that would be a thing. But then if they did that, they'd only change some rules around.
I personally think we should do, I think it was Austria. I might be wrong, but it's one of those, Sweden, Austria. They're putting a law through, or did put a law through. Good evening, Loafer. Where citizens had the right to copyright their biodata, which basically
That almost
means
sounds worse.
no, it means nobody can take a picture of them or film of them without their specific permission. That includes security services. There you go. Wouldn't it be nice to have that here? No, you can't take my picture with that one. Yeah. I mean, it would stop all the auditors and people filming the protests. But yeah, the fact that you could object, it would cause fucking uproar. Absolute fucking uproar. But,
except for the people who buy the crap and say, well, it's to protect us, so what's the matter?
admittedly,
It's always the way, isn't it?
the public CCTV does operate under slightly different laws to, say, a private CCTV or, you know, somebody videoing in public. They do operate under slightly different laws because it actually comes under some of the security laws or something. But actual digital facial recognition, you know, that is collecting bio information on you. It's hang on, am I reading this right?
What?
Chef Loafer, I'm hung like a hamster. What the fuck are you on about? What, have I missed a conversation here or something?
You were talking about cameras in the
Oh.
bathrooms.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I think the balloon's going to go up this year. In the first half of the year, there's going to be something big happening. If Starmer doesn't get removed over this one, then I think the only way we're going to get him out is people on the streets. The politicians don't seem to be interested in removing him, even with everything he's done. You know, yeah, they'll call him out. They'll say they're against him. And at the end of the day, they stand shoulder to shoulder with him. So I think the only way that we're going to get rid of Labour before 2029 is if the public physically remove him. I'm not saying there should be a civil uprising or anything like that, but a revolution.
That it would work.
I think if it carries on, we'll get one before 2029. I really do. People have had enough of it. You know. But anyway, that's enough about me and what the fuck I think about politics. What's everybody else been up to? So I'm looking at lots of comments here. We had a bit of snow last night. Not a lot. Covering. It didn't settle on the roads, but it settled on the cars for a few hours. I know what's happening. It's got fucking cold. I know that.
Yeah, it has got nippy, all right. It was snowing yesterday.
Yeah, as I said, we had a bit last night. But, yeah, HL talking about the royal family there.
About half an hour or something.
That's going through the mangle again at the moment, isn't it? There are people now saying that, you know, the royal family just shouldn't be getting invited. They should just disappear. I agree with it. They're no good for this country. And it turns out there was a lot of bribing going on and stuff behind the scenes, and especially over Andrew the pervert. I mean, you know, they would know. They knew what was going on. They knew what had been said, and allegedly they got connections to Epstein himself anyway. That's,
Did you see this thing, Roger? There's this YouTuber called Lauren the Mortician, and she's like a proper expert, really entertaining channel as well. And she's gone through a lot of stuff that says that shouldn't be happening, that shouldn't be happening on his posthumous photo, his photo of his so-called corpse. Like, and she really got into it. I think she's in a lawsuit about it now. Good luck to her.
Although there are protections for Big Pharma in place, there are many now that are bringing cases against them over the jabs and stuff. I mean, the evidence is there. Yes, there was something out there. There was something nasty. I still say, and I can't prove it, so allegedly, I still think, my opinion is, it was just a flu strain.
Yeah, I think so. Because
in my mind,
famously,
everything
flu
I've
numbers
seen
went
points
down
to
to
it.
31.
I mean, when you think about it, Britain suffers the flu sort of every year. There's always a bad flu goes around. There's always people that ends up in hospital. The old and the weak die from it. But there seems to be a lot more died from it and are still dying from it, and it's continuing longer now. Have you seen a list anywhere that says these patients have been jabbed or not? I haven't.
Well, it's gone up, if anything, since the jabs. Everything's gone up, hasn't it? The excess deaths.
Yeah, nobody had ever heard of a turbo cancer until 2021.
Yeah. There was no such term.
You got all these alleged viruses that seem to be popping up everywhere, but never
Variants,
arrive. Well,
Omicron.
It's an absolute fact. When a virus mutates, the mutation is weaker than the original strain.
Really?
There's scientific evidence out there that that's the case. You know, people. Yeah,
I was just thinking that
proving the opposite.
I thought the reason for it mutating would be to aid its survival. Maybe it gets weaker, but
that is the only reason
carries
the virus
on longer because it couldn't carry on its last form.
Is to survive.
But it doesn't want to kill its host.
But yeah,
but it will be weaker.
It doesn't want to kill what it's living in and what it's living on. That would be a pointless move.
Oh, it's host. I thought it said toast.
No, host.
Yeah, a backwards move for if you're a virus or a parasite.
Yeah, I've always believed that a virus weakens each time it mutates. You know, even in a human being, survival takes
so much
more energy and
contrary
weakens
information about it.
Yeah, but even a human being, if you're in a survival situation, it weakens you, runs you down. Yeah. I have a family member that has bed cancer. Yeah. I mean, they tried to pass my mum's death off as COVID. For the fact that she was recovering from open heart surgery and she had dementia, COVID didn't even enter into it. And
what's a bed cancer?
They tested a positive after she died, so they could put it on the Gee, no.
And they were being paid to do that as well, weren't they?
Yeah.
Kickbacks.
And you got the big kickbacks going on now that have been reported that the government have actually
For
been
ventilators as
paying
well.
Hospital trusts to take people off the waiting lists. They've actually been paying them, apparently, or allegedly, I should say, for to take people off the waiting lists. And what they do is they'll take a load of people off. So, they'll send you a letter saying they're rearranging your appointment. Another one will be arranged for you. And once they've sent all them letters out and cancelled all them appointments, that's when they take the figures that the ONS put out. And then you get a rearranged appointment and the figures go back up to where they were.
Lies, damn lies and statistics, eh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the council. Kel might be interested in this if she's in the background. Now, we had this council, what they call stock take Monday. Here, it's all around Birmingham they're doing this. Now, the original pitch was that we were getting was they're doing this just to see how many properties they've got that they can sell off. We know Birmingham are selling off a lot of property and land and stuff like that.
But after having people like that buying them up,
it's obvious who they're going to put in a minute. Who's going to buy them and who they're going to put in them. That's what they said they were looking at. But after having a chat with the guy that came out, he seemed a genuine guy. He was all right. No issues with him. I did follow him around the house when he was digging in corners and shit. And I did explain to him that I'm not going to let a stranger wander around my house poking into everything without me seeing what they're doing. We got personal belongings. So he was okay with it. Absolutely fine. Not a problem. Went through all the bits and pieces. And then he actually told me why they're doing it. Oh, Steve disappeared. Go on. What they're actually doing is mainly looking for damp. The reason they're doing it, they're supposed to do it once a year. But up until now, it's been voluntary. So most councils haven't bothered doing the inspections. Now, they passed an act that they have got to do it, and on an annual basis, because of the death of that young lad through the black mold. So a legislation has been put in place where the councils can't get away with it anymore. They have got to go round and inspect for mold. He spent most of his time looking in corners, looking at ground level, and looking around windows. Yeah, he was making notes of other things, but he said that's the reason they're doing it is because they've been forced to. I said, well, I can't see the point because they can't afford to do anything about it. It's like their maintenance, they're shit. They literally don't do any. And if they do, it's a bodger. I said, so how can they afford this? He said, they can't really afford us doing the survey.
There's a guy called Thomas Sheridan doing a video today, and he was saying that, I don't know who was talking about it. He said he made a valid point. He said, do you remember about maybe 10 or 20 years ago, everything just in this country just started to stop working and putting up strange statues all around the place. It's like they're trying to unnerve everybody and give people the idea that it's all over.
Now, this is the thing. Everybody's pointing the finger at Starmer. He wants this totalitarian fucking country, 15-minute cities,
He loves a bit of China.
Movement. But the Tories started all that. The Tories started it. They laid the path for Starmer to come in and carry on with this, because a lot of the ideas and a lot of the legislation was there. It just needed to be going through and implemented. And that's basically, they wanted digital ID. They wanted 15-minute cities. They wanted everybody in electric cars.
Well, it's the UN and the EU and the WF, isn't it? And the Rothschilds and so on and so on.
Well,
they've all got it sewn up. I don't think it's, and NATO and all that. It's just their arms of the thing, aren't they?
I mean, some of these organisations are well past their sell-by date. People are seeing that now, and that's why the UN's probably going to go into insolvency. Because
and get another name and start again.
Well, Trump was right. He said, and he proved it. UN was running. Trump pulls out American funding. Fuck you, we're out. The thing collapses because it hasn't got his money. It hasn't got America's money.
Roger, I hate to contradict you because you're obviously a million times smarter than I am. But I'm sure the people funding the things like the sudden pandemic rollouts of everything and the same things all over the world, I don't think they need even Trump's funding.
But they don't.
Again, the Bilderbergs and the Rothschilds.
Don't forget, the UN is a separate entity on its own. Now, NATO is exactly the same. The UN and NATO would not work without America's funding. They are the biggest contributor in money. They are the biggest contributor in aid. They are the biggest contributor in weaponry and arms. This is a well-known fact.
I wonder what Lothar thinks. What do you reckon, Lothar?
Basically, any of these big
if Trump pulls out his money, then no one can do anything.
Exactly. And that's what he done to prove it with the UN. We're not funding you anymore. Within a week, they've announced that, they could go insolvent. They could be breaking up because they haven't got the money to function. Nobody else has pulled out. And this, yes, it is a form of blackmail, but this is the way Trump works. If you don't agree with me or you won't come and talk to me, I'm going to make life bad for you until you do. Hence the tariffs. How many countries now have come round to the table and talked to him about their tariffs? As soon as he said, well, I'll put yours at 50%, I'll put yours at 100%. Every single one of them has crept up his ass to talk about trade because they know them tariffs would destroy them. It's all there if you look at it. It's a form of political and legal blackmail, I suppose you'd call it, because you're forcing somebody into something. It's. I mean,
I imagine they've got the. I imagine they've got the plan all set out, just the same as they did with the convict scam. It's like they knew what they were doing years before, and I think everything we're watching now, as if it's happening in real time.
A lot of this
probably
stuff.
They call it a narrative, don't they?
A lot of this stuff that's coming in now, they've had planned for years. People have known they've had it planned for years. And people are starting to realise it now because it's going tits up and the whistleblowers are stepping out and opening up. You wait and see how many whistleblowers come out over the fucking Epstein shit. Oh, have you still not got it sorted, Stitch? Sorry, Steve, I was chatting away there. I was ignoring the...
You're right, mate. Don't worry. Used to it.
Got a leak. All collapse, all block pipe outside. Chuck a bit of bicarb down it. If you've got a blocked pipe. Bit of baking soda. Let it fizz up. Yeah, I'm afraid, Jen, when the councils and that are involved and even private landlords now, you're going to have a job to get anything done.
got this bloody charger here at the same time. I keep forgetting it, and I move something, and it's just all higgledy-piggledy.
Did you know if you use your mobile phone while it's charging, plugged in, it puts out, I can't remember the figure now. I think
EMFs,
it's
isn't it?
like, yeah, but it puts out 80% more when it's plugged into a charger. If you're using
Yeah, I
it.
saw that on a video.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
outrageous.
that's where I saw it.
Just
I think
like,
it was 80%.
Don't have your phone. If your phone's charging, like, get it as far away from you as you can, because it'll be microwaving you or something like that.
Yeah, and it has been known to cause tumours, headaches.
Yeah.
You know, this is just another downfall. It's like they keep going on about the 5G and these bloody towers. I mean, we've got a 5G one literally, what is it, just over the back of the school by the football ground, isn't it?
Yeah.
What would you say, 200-300 yards away?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
There's one of them not far from here as well. Just
I haven't seen
no
any
explanation
improvement in the Wi-Fi.
I think
I haven't seen any improvement in the phone signal. You know, people are saying they're a weapon, and well, we know they destroy foliage around them with their emitting power and that.
Really?
Whatever.
That's been seen, has it?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I wonder why no one's done a massive expose on it.
Well, I first saw it, that sort of thing, probably, well over 40 years ago, would you believe? Where certain power cables, obviously there weren't no internet and that back then, but certain power cables, transformers that did radiate some sort of waves, used to have a big brown patch down the side of a fir hedge where these cables were. It wasn't touching the cables, yet the top half of the firs on one side all died off.
People weren't really thinking about that in the 1900s, were they? I mean, in the late 1990s, and that were 40 years ago. Was that 85 or something? 86. You just everyone was just busy getting on with their life because they were so full of the narrative. It's like, oh well, just that's what happens. Oh, that's going to be terrible.
It's like these people. Oh, how are we going to live our lives if we've got power cuts? I mean, people my generation.
Or if there's a lack of toilet rolls all of a sudden.
We'd be absolutely fine because we've lived through shit like that. We lived through a year of power cuts and.
But we didn't have to charge our phones.
Yeah, but we didn't have to charge phones, and we didn't have a meltdown because there was no internet to come off of. But
no tablets.
Even in that case, we've been through it. We know what you can do to keep yourself occupied, how you can create a bit of light, how you can cook.
Playing cards round a candle.
Playing cards round a candle, you know. Sit grandma in the corner.
I had no internet.
Chuck an extra
I had no internet
strong.
for 2 weeks recently. I had to read a book. It was awful.
Oh, I love getting away. When I go on holiday, I always have a good read.
Is anybody going to let me fucking finish what I was saying here?
No.
Thank you.
Trying to get a word in edgeways.
Well, you got that privilege when it's your show, innit? No, you sit grandma in the corner, chuck an extra strong mint down her fucking neck, and you'll warm your hands up on her breath, you know. It's I'm sorry, I don't mean it's when I'm talking, if I stop or I get interrupted, I lose where I am with my memory.
Yeah, sorry, my fault, Rod, sorry.
No worries, Steve. It's one of these things that people don't understand. I mean, I've sat talking to professionals and they've interrupted me, like a doctor or something like that. And I'm sat there for the next 20 minutes trying to remember what I was fucking talking about. That's why I run on notes rather than, you know, I need the prompts. I need the thing there to remind me of what I was saying. If I get lost in what I was saying, then I go back to my notes. You know, it's easier for me with the way my head is at the moment. And I don't think it's going to get any fucking better, sadly. But
I think it's a bit like Tom Jones disease. It's not unusual, like. A lot of people take notes and stuff like that. Especially you think, I'm not buttering your company now, but you think about awful lot of different things in an awful lot of detail. So you would have to sort of have at least a half a second more to put all that together.
I'm the same with
Formulate.
no matter what I've done, mate. When I used to be out in the workshop making my little projects, I look at every little detail before I'd even start a project. Measurements, have I got the right materials? Have I got the right amount of power if it's a mechanical one? And even with the fishing, I'll go through every little detail. Like this year, our holiday this year, we're going for a little bit longer, which means if we get stormed off, rained off, or generally too tired to fish, we're not going to look, because we've got the extra days to make up if we miss some days. But already we're not going till, what is it, the beginning of July? Beginning of July. Already I'm looking at trying to get pictures of how the beaches changed that we fish with all these storms. All the beaches are shifting. Is the road still there that runs along the front of the beach? Because that quite often gets washed out.
It was last week.
What we're going to do with bait. For Christmas, I got a brand new rod. How's that one going to work out? What days? What are the tides? It's 6 months away, for crying out loud.
Mm-hmm.
But I want every little thing in its place before we go. I shall make a list of what I'm taking, what tackle I'm taking. I shall already have a list of what bait I'm using.
I don't know. Fish and chip shops.
I've always been like that. I've always been like that.
What was that about the fish and chip shop, Steve?
I was just making a rubbish joke about going to all that trouble when there's a fish and chip shop near you or something.
10 mile away.
Told you it was
10
a rubbish
mile
joke.
away is the nearest one.
Because we're 10 mile away from fucking anything.
Oh, sweet. That is nice.
Exactly.
Pity there wasn't a river there.
That's what I mean. We're out in the middle of nowhere. That's the only thing that's worrying me, is they've got more cottages there now, because they've converted more of the barns, which means there's going to be more people about. Well, that's why we used to go there, because there wasn't anybody about. You had one person in the cottage next door. That was it. You didn't have kids running around the place. But now there's 2 bedroom, 1 bedroom, 4 bedroom and 6 bedroom in it.
One 1 bedroom, 1 2 bedroom, 1 3 bedroom, and 1 4.
1 4. So, we don't know whether we're going to enjoy it as much, put it that way.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
But will you actually be out of sight of these buildings? Or they're right on top of you, like?
No.
Yeah.
They're all part of the same
That's a shame.
farmyard barn building.
The 2 original ones that we used to go, we used to use either the 1 or the 2 bedroom. It was 2 farm converted barn, 2 little cottages that looked straight out across the road, across the fields, and if you look to your right, you can see the beach and the sea and the windmills. But now you've got individual little courtyards with walls round. The one we're in this year has actually got a building in front of it. We can see a bit of the landscape, but you'd have to go into one of the bedrooms and look into the little corner of a window to see the sea. So to actually see what the sea state's doing, I've got to physically leave the apartment, go and walk down the road to see what it's doing. I can't do it from the window. But we'll see.
It's a pain in the ass for you, right?
But the room we're stopping in has windows in the roof.
Yeah, it's got skylights in it.
And it's so dark out there. So we might be able to
No, you won't.
and look at the
You
Milky
won't.
Way.
I'm telling you now, you will not get any decent view of the skylight through them Velux windows.
No, I know.
I'll tell you that now. It might be a bit Well, I used to fit the things, mate. And people used to tell me what they wanted them for, and oh no, it don't work. I don't know why we had it fitted. Exactly. They give you a bit of light, and it's nice when it storms because you get the flashes of the lightning. But very rarely do you, unless you've got an absolutely fucking huge one or a whole roof covered in them. Especially if they're tunneled in, you don't get a very good view at all. You can't see anything really. But we'll go. You know, we've booked it. If we decide, yeah, you know, that's it. We're not having that again there. While we're there, we'll take a couple of days around and look at other places because we both like the area, and there are little cottages and that summer rentals and holiday rentals that are along in the same sort of position, right on the beach, as it were. But we'll see. All right, Jen. Yeah, I'm going to be.
Would it be that hard to find another place to fish?
No. If we stayed in the area, I'd deliberately drive to the areas we fish because you can park closer to them than the cottage was. I mean, one of them you can actually pull into a free car park. If you're reversing, you can open your boot and fish. Sit in your boot. That's how close it is.
You don't call it Coast Road for nothing.
No, and the Coast Road, you got literally the road, a few pull-ins, which are free and free for overnight as well. And then literally at the edge of the parking spot on the side of the road, you got the beach and the sea. Yeah, it's many people that do fish there will stay in a camper or sleep in the back of a car. You know, they'll fish the tide through the day, have a few hours kip in the car, then go back out and fish the next tide at night. But it's just a nice quiet area. It's away from most of civilization, I'll say. The only drawback is you got to travel to shop, which I don't mind. You're on holiday, for fuck's sake, you know. That more than outweighs the peace and quiet. Right, as I said, Steve, I am going to call it short tonight. I thought I could go on a bit later, but
cool.
My legs are playing fucking havoc under the table here. They just won't stop twitching and going into cramps and shit. So, but thank you everybody for turning up. Steve, thank you very much for dropping in on the panel.
Right, thanks for coming on, Rog.
Yeah. Well, I do try. I don't do the videos anymore. I post the odd clip and video on Facebook simply because I get 15, 20 times more views on there. So more people are listening to what I'm saying on there than on YouTube. So, and I'm certainly not paying a fucking license to the BBC to use YouTube, although I don't think that'll ever happen. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for dropping in tonight. Hopefully the week might get a bit easier and I'll be a bit better next week. Well, except for Monday if I got to have treatment, won't it? But other than that, guys, whatever you're doing out there, as always, be careful, watch your back. Also, be very situational aware. And this is how a lot of people are getting caught out now. But as always, before we go, it's good night from me.
And good night from me.
And stay safe, stay strong, and stay free. Respects, guys. Look after yourselves.
Good night, all.